Right, ladies and gentlemen, as we know, it is a crap time to build or upgrade your gaming PC, right? Well, actually, to some extent, wrong. Now is a fantastic time to grab a load of deals on some of the very best gaming PC parts, which is where I come in. Because you see, throughout this video, we're going to walk you through the very best PC parts and accessories that are worth buying, showing you the very best deals that we can find, and helping you to unlock the very best PC gaming setup that is going to be perfect for you. And I mean, sure, there are the obvious price issues with both RAM and SSDs, but there are in fact ways to turn the current market in your favor. So finally, ladies and gentlemen, you have a positive PC gaming video. It's going to be fun, it's going to be informative, and it's going to show you all of the very best PC gaming parts that you can buy right now. So stay tuned to learn absolutely everything you need to know right after a short word from this video's sponsor. PC Specialist is your go-to place to get your dream gaming PC. Renowned as a leading custom PC builder in Europe, PC Specialist excels in producing quality computers, freeing you from the stress of a DIY. Build and customize your perfect system with ease using their accessible configurator, or choose from one of their pre-built systems and get delivery as quick as the very next day. To find out more about this system, or to create your own, just hit that link down below to head to PC Specialist. Let's start with our core components, because in fact there are actually some good deals to be had here, and everything we're talking about will be listed with current global pricing listed down below. Now of course, the heart to any gaming system are the GPU and the CPU, and seriously, it is a fantastic time to land yourself a new processor. Prices were already starting to come down a bit after Ryzen's decent but uninspiring 9000 series launch, but Intel has just dropped an Ultra Plus series that honestly doesn't suck. Despite technically being just a refresh, these chips now have 4 extra cores, faster gaming performance, and software optimizations that make them awesome for pretty much any gaming PC, but especially those looking to spend under $300 on their CPU. Now, let's be clear about something as I traipse across the room, trying not to trip over anything. These offer fantastic value for money, but these are not strictly the fastest gaming CPUs out there. Again, it only matters if you have a really fast graphics card or you care about longevity. These offer amazing value for money, but if you do want the absolute best CPUs when it comes to pure gaming performance, then of course you do need to be looking at one of these, which is an X3D CPU. And for whatever reason, AMD has almost scored a bit of an own goal here. Because you see, they have just launched an overclocked 9800X3D as the 9850X3D, splitting their stock and SKUs in two, and we're already starting to see prices on both chips in the UK coming down quite drastically. Now, some of this will be down to the market as a whole. Obviously, PC gaming is not the brightest time at the moment, but ultimately, if you want to grab yourself a great gaming CPU at any level, it does look as if the prices are only going to go one way, which is down, which makes a very refreshing change. But now let's move on to the other side of the coin. Graphics cards. Are there any deals on these, and is it a good time to buy? Well, yes or no. It depends essentially what it is that you're looking at and unfortunately where it is that you live. Now, it's no secret that the cost of memory has gone up across pretty much all of the PC gaming boards, and unfortunately it has hit graphics cards too. Ultimately, if you want to buy a top-end RTX 5090, you're looking at frankly absurd prices that are way above RRP, or if you're in the States, then graphics card prices generally are just a fair bit more inflated. But there is some good news amongst the more damp stuff. You see, AMD graphics cards don't seem to be hit as hard as Nvidia, likely because they're using the slightly slower GDDR6 standard rather than G7. This means that in the UK particularly, pricing is rather good. RX 9060s for around about £270 and RX 9070 XTs for £580, which pretty much covers most PC gamers. Not only this, but you can also get yourself an Nvidia RTX 5060 for around about £270 and RTX 5070s for under £500, so Team Green isn't too bad either for the mainstream, in the UK at least. Sadly though, most PC gamers of course isn't all PC gamers, and at the real budget end of things, it's not amazing news. You'd typically be looking at one of these, which is an Intel Arc graphics card, but especially in the UK, these have gone up. In the States, they haven't really gone up more, but they're already quite high. They're not exactly at their RRPs, but ultimately there are often some sale prices that goes on, and if you're after a B570, these do seem to be a lot better priced than the competing B580s that have a little bit more VRAM. But if you are after a graphics card, generally speaking, if you're after something kind of below the 5070 Ti, things are okay across the board, but particularly in the UK, we actually have some pretty good prices. Now, we'll come back to PC components in just a second, but for 2026, for me, honestly, it really is the year of the gaming monitor. You spend all of your time staring at the screen, and having something larger, sharper, more colourful, and of course, faster, really does make all of the difference. Now, we've tested a crazy amount of displays over the years, and they don't have to be super expensive to provide a fantastic and really beneficial experience. I'd say look for anything with a low response time, a fast refresh rate of around about 165 Hz or higher, and ideally 1440p or above. But of course, personally speaking, my love of 2026 is particularly with OLED monitors, because there's so many of them now. It's not just like one 27-inch panel. You can get them in loads of different sizes, be it ultra-wide, small, big, whatever. They're super fast, and they're much more affordable than they used to be as well. You can often find them for under £400 or dollars, and this isn't like some entry-level SKU. This is like 27-inch, 240 Hz, 1440p, glossy, and it just looks absolutely fantastic. We'll leave all of our favorites linked down below, but if you do want to check out our full video all about the best monitors you can buy right now, you can find that video in the top right corner of your screen. You won't regret it. Back to the PC though, and a slower market means less sales, and less sales means more sales for us, in terms of pricing anyway. And motherboards is another area where things are pretty darn tasty at the moment. Both Intel's B860 and AMD's B850 platforms are pretty complete, with wide support for PCI Generation 5, Wi-Fi, USB 4, etc, and boards can be found for under £150 or dollars, with higher-end models dropping quite frequently below 200. This means that if you are upgrading your platform, the cost can be low, and the performance jump huge, especially if you're running on something that really is showing its age.
But whoa, hang on a second there, Centric. Are you serious?
You're going to talk about, oh, it's a great time to buy a new gaming PC. You can get a CPU for £30 off, or you can get $40 off a motherboard.
Fantastic.
What about the price of RAM?
We're paying an extra £200 or dollars or so for the same stuff. You can't seriously stand there and recommend upgrading your platform if you don't have some existing memory. And you know what? You've got a point. If you are looking to upgrade your gaming PC, whilst everything else, well, most stuff that doesn't have any memory in it essentially, is actually going down as a result, if you're having to pay a load of money to actually get that memory in the first place, then it does obviously negate the savings. There's not really that much we can do about that, and that is obviously the sad reality of PC gaming in 2026. Now, it is starting to get a little bit better, but it's certainly no way near what it was around about like 10 months ago or so. So this is something that you are going to have to factor in and bear in mind. Obviously, if you already got some DDR5, then fantastic. It's clearly a great time to upgrade. But if you are looking to carry stuff across, then whilst there are options, it's obviously not really viable to carry DDR4 across to a DDR5 platform unless you go for like a 14th gen Intel CPU, but even that's out of date now and it loses out on features and things. So it is ultimately going to be the compromise. But there are some potential things that you could do. We actually explored this in a prior video. You can find it in the top right corner of your screen. And essentially that is to reduce the cost of your RAM by buying either 16 gig in a 2x8 configuration, or you can actually buy one single 16 gig kit, which is what I'd probably recommend if you're trying to save as much money as possible, because we didn't really see that much performance difference between the dual channel 2x8 or 2x16 versus a single stick of 16, which was very, very interesting. I highly recommend you watch that video in the top right corner of your screen. But ultimately, the reality is, if you're buying memory, then it is going to negate a lot of the savings that we're talking about today. I'm sorry I can't fix that, but that is sadly the reality we're in. So yeah, not exactly the best RAM situation, but it is improving. There are bundles and deals that make sense, and things should start to settle down over the next 12 months. But what's the case exactly when it comes to chassis? Fantastic joke there. But realistically, like anything that doesn't seem to have any memory in it, prices, availability, offers, it's definitely going the right way. And it's definitely worth noting that cases these days tend to be way better than only a few years ago. They're bigger to support more modern hardware, and they're usually mesh-ridden from head to toe, and often come with hubs for RGB and fan speed, along with USB Type-C for charging your phone. And I mean, case in point, all right, I'll stop doing that. Take a look at these. An NZXT H7 Flow for 65 quid. An awesome case with loads of expansion. You could also get a Fantex MV5 V2 for just £80, which is my personal PC case, case. And okay, it doesn't come with any fans, but personally I think this is probably the best looking chassis on the market. And then there's arguably the best all-rounder, the Lee & Lee LANCool 216, with its huge included front fans, RGB controller, and awesome build quality that gamers long for just £90. It is a fantastic time to bag yourself a new PC case. And those words actually are very interesting because I was saying the exact same thing about these SSDs only last year. They're fantastic value for money. It's a great time to buy them. You could actually get something like this for around about £60, which is a 1TB drive, PCI Generation 4, had basically all the performance that you'd need, really cheap upgrade. Sadly, those days, for the time being at least, are gone, and you're basically looking at double. Personally speaking, I'd recommend buying a quality PCI Generation 4 drive with 1 or 2 TB of capacity, and ideally have one that has a DRAM cache so it prevents any system hangs or stutters, but realistically, you don't need the very best drive to have a great experience. In fact, as long as you already have a PCI Generation 3 SSD or better, then personally, I'd just hold off buying something new until it's absolutely essential, as it's probably not going to change your gaming experience. Now, back to flip-flopping from the bad to the good, we have power supplies. Really interesting stuff, and it's the thing that you're going to be spending all of your time like feeling and smelling the box and taking it in. Or maybe you just put it in your system and then you forget about it and you never think about it again. But again, it's not really got any memory in it, so prices on these are definitely very good and there's plenty of offers to be had, and you don't even really need to know where to look. My advice here is pretty simple. Most of you will never need more than 850 watts, so if you're buying for longevity, then this, or potentially 1000, is going to be a great investment. If you do have a little bit extra budget, I would also highly advise that you look at modular as well, as your build is going to be so much neater. Ultimately, the best way to decide is to run a quick calculator online, add yourself a little bit of headroom, and then of course any extra known upgrades that you think you're going to make over the next 5 years, and go with what's recommended. If you want to go for the absolute prettiest PC, then also consider some custom cables, though do be aware that this does of course add a fair bit of cost, and ultimately it's not going to improve your FPS. Moving swiftly on, just like power supplies, my advice when it comes to coolers is to only buy what it is that you need. Does that work? Probably not. But again, there is so many fantastic deals out there that even if you want to buy a 360mm all-in-one, it is a fantastic time to buy, as there are loads of great quality coolers for under £100 or dollars. Now, I'd say that this has been made possible thanks to all of the extra sales volumes and extra factories that are making them, but also the Montecs and the Arctics of the world, bringing awesome coolers down to more mainstream affordable prices while still delivering fantastic acoustics and thermal performances. But hang on a second, Centric. Don't you
Hate radiators.
Yes, I do, because they're a pain in the arse to fit, but once they're in there, they're fine. And a lot of people love them. They're great in a pre-build as well, because they're more stable if you're moving your system around. And as I say, prices are coming down massively. But personally speaking, to most PC gamers out there, if you're not fussed about having this kind of cleaner look, then I would strongly recommend that you look at an air cooler, because they're usually way cheaper, and you can get fantastic ones from Arctic or Montec for around about like £30 to £40, which, let's face it, is pretty much the price of a Five Guys for 2.
Only buy one chips though, they give you way too many.
I don't think anyone's going to argue with me when I say that they really don't look quite as good. You've got this like lump and mass in the middle of your PC, especially if you mix it with RGB, but you do get similar levels of performance for way less money, and you do this without any pump noise that you're going to find in an all-in-one, and less fear of coolant leaks, though to be honest, this isn't really a huge issue in my experience. Now, we've already spoken about the importance of a really good gaming monitor. As you're staring at it, it's what you're interacting with, but guess what? You're also interacting with these. There's only so much that your PC can do. You need it to feel good and just to have a great experience when you're gaming. Seriously, peripherals matter, and it's really important to get it right. And I'm well aware that this will almost certainly get some pushback, but call me crazy, but I can live with a mediocre keyboard, but no way in hell would I play Battlefield with a crap mouse. There are almost always deals on top gaming mice from Logitech, Razer, Corsair, SteelSeries, and many, many more. And realistically, whilst there are numerous shapes, sizes, and sensors, any true gaming mouse over around about £30 or dollars is likely to be a massive upgrade over anything you have lying around. And I am more than aware that I probably sound like a broken record here, but by far my favorite pick is this. It is the Superlight from Logitech. This is actually the original G Pro Superlight. I've got the most recent one that I bought last year. It comes in red, but it's one of my personal setup downstairs. I like the fact that it's just so responsive, but also very lightweight. And personally speaking, whilst I know loads of people love them, I don't want the holes that you get on the ultralight mice. So I just want something that kind of looks normal, feels great in the hand, and obviously is really great to use. And it makes such a massive difference. I highly, highly recommend it. On a good day, you can usually find these for around about £80, whereas keyboards definitely can start to get very pricey very quickly. So be careful. But my beginner recommendation for most is usually just an entry-level wired mechanical keyboard that you find in a sale, often from the likes of Corsair, Cooler Master, Razer, or any of the other big players. That's not to say that it's not worth spending the extra money. I'm sure loads of you are kind of like crying out, and you're quite right that better keyboards are better, and they are obviously going to last, and you're going to love using them. The more tactile, lube switches, better double shot keycaps, things like that. I get it, but ultimately if we're talking about how to kind of maximize your gaming experience, so to get the most out of your gaming PC without spending crazy amounts of money, then obviously spending like 150, 250 pounds of dollars on a keyboard probably isn't the best use of money when you could put it into the CPU or of course the graphics card, or to be honest, something like a gaming mouse. But obviously it's gaming, like PC gaming. You can customize it, you can upgrade. There are loads of great things you can do. Other things I would highly recommend as well is sort out your lighting. If you're sitting in a room right now with just like one main bulb above you, get yourself some lamps, put some RGB bulbs in there, get yourself some strips and things, and just have something that's a little bit more mellow. Personally, I'd recommend most people as well have what we call a bias light that's behind their monitor. So usually just a white RGB, well, not RGB, it can be RGB, but a white strip behind your monitor just to kind of ease the pressure on your eyes. So when something gets bright and then gets dim, your eyes contract and it can be uncomfortable over long periods of time. So if you want to sit in a dark room, then obviously having a bias light really is going to help you. Editor Carl also likes that you can buy these kind of like charging clips. They're magnetic, so you can charge something like potentially your phone, but then also your keyboard, your mouse and things with one cable, which is really useful if you've got like micro USB on this keyboard and then like USB Type-C on this mouse. There's quite a lot of other things you can do, but then also grab yourself a mouse mat. Sadly, the PC-centric mouse mat is now out of stock, but this is what you could have had if you'd bought it earlier, but that has finally sold out, which is cool. But if you grab yourself like a large desk pad, then obviously that can take over your full setup, or if you need something a bit slimmer, that like this mouse mat that we have here, then obviously that's going to suit you as well. So those are the things that I think are going to make the largest amount of difference to your gaming setup. Just be careful what it is that you spend money on. Don't spend too much money on one component, but as we've shown here today, as long as you're not looking at anything with memory, there are loads of fantastic deals, and it's definitely going to be the upgrader's paradise in a way for PC gaming in 2026, especially when it comes to monitors, peripherals, things like that. But obviously if you're looking to build a new system from scratch, you are going to be limited in terms of RAM pricing, but there's not too much that we can do about that. I hope this video has been helpful though. If it has, let us know down in the comment section below. Please hit that like button and please get subscribed. If you're watching this and you're not subscribed, it massively helps out, so smash that sub button. And of course, if you do want to check out current pricing on anything that was featured in this video, then as always, you can find all of our recommendations listed down below.
And while you're down there, why not check out PC Specialist? PC Specialist creates some of the very best systems out there, with meticulous cable management coupled with rigorous testing to guarantee stability and optimal performance. This system is the Eclipse R7 Ti. It features an AMD 9800X3D and NVIDIA RTX 5070 Ti, and it is the dream gaming powerhouse. Learn more and find your perfect gaming PC without the fuss of building with the link down below.
But thank you guys so much for watching. We'll catch you in the next one.